Hi guys, welcome to the Silver Report. Today is Tuesday, January 24th, 2017, and I wanted to get into some news and some economic factors that'll play into the price of silver. Now, silver has traditionally been classified as a precious metal, but because silver is extremely rare, a lot more rare than the value sets it at. One thing that silver has as a benefit over gold purchases, and why silver is better investment, it has a lot more violent swings in the price, and the percentage gains are higher. But one other thing that separates it from something like gold is the fact that it's industrial use, and silver is a lot more subject to supply and demand than gold is, and the reality of the actual value, which is why the price can't be suppressed back down below this current bottom. It's currently trading at $17.18, and gold is at $1,213.50 right now, and so it can't be suppressed really below its current bottom with all of their paper markets. It was interesting. I saw that WikiLeaks released a report from the 70s. It was a discussion between the United States and the UK, and they were discussing creating these gold futures market. We know that the United States had just recently gone off of the gold standard at that point and taken silver out of their currency. There was a move to switch the United States back on to using silver notes, silver dollars, and off of Federal Reserve notes. But it failed, unfortunately. And then we saw they created what was called the gold futures market. Now, the reason that they said that they would create this and why it would work, it said that the futures market creation will discourage U.S. citizens from buying gold. You see, the dollar is in competition with gold or silver. So they were actually, this leaked cable, having a discussion about how they can suppress the United States citizens, how to protect the dollar from people flooding into gold. They trusted gold more. In fact, it was a part of the currency. You used to be able to take in your paper and trade it in for actual physical gold, and it limited their ability to be able to print money at will. And we see since World War II that the world has been pushed onto the dollar, and all of the gold from Europe was shipped over here at the end of the war because it was safe. Hitler was going through and taking everyone's gold, so they wanted to protect it. And then they made a bold move. They took the United States dollar off of the gold standard, and when these European countries said we want our gold, they demanded their gold. We said, look, we'll give you more paper, more dollars for the gold. We're going to be doing something different. We eliminated the gold standard, and we kept the wealth of Europe. We traded them dollars in exchange, and we pushed the world onto this system now, this fiat dollar, as opposed to the gold-backed dollar. Now, when it comes to supply and demand for the silver rates, the traditional rate at which silver is produced, for every ounce of gold we mine around the world, only 9 ounces of silver. And that ratio is dropping. Grades are dropping. Quality of silver is dropping. There's been 2 years of consecutive production dropping. And it's not as though they're not looking for it. It's just becoming harder to find. Silver is becoming extremely precious, extremely rare. Silver should be trading at a 9-to-1 by statistic. In fact, if you go to usdebtclock.org, it says that gold, the actual value for the amount that is in the earth, this would be separate from the paper suppression, it should be $9,000 per ounce, and silver at about $1,000 per ounce. For the actual value and the actual amount that is in the earth, and compared to the demand. So the actual value of silver should be around $1,000, and it makes sense because of the 9-to-1 ratio, not counting the higher demand. It's just by statistic alone, and deficit production. We've had 30 years of increased consumption through industrial demand, and an awakening of a U.S. and a European population to attain this metal. So the people are waking up to its real value. and how they've been robbed. So there's been deficit production. In fact, there's this green revolution. We've got these electronic cars in the car industry moving out. There's a big move, big money behind this, big research and development. It's not far-fetched to see silver coming up very soon, within the very near future at triple digits, just based upon the actual demand in a fair valuation to the gold-silver ratio. So just upon the actual demand, they cannot keep up this suppression through paper printing much longer. The best part, the whole planet has been working into this. So, electric vehicle industry, clean energy, and this sector has a lot of backing. It's growing, whether you agree or not with a lot of the propaganda they're putting out about climate change. The fact is, they are putting out propaganda, and traditionally it has worked. And traditionally they have. We've been operating in this system where silver and gold has been suppressed for a long time. And what should we say? We're in their world. We just need to learn how to benefit in their world. And I say no. I would buy into the actual value because sooner or later it's going to come to roost. Because with this move and this constant publishing that we need to move into a green energy, green world, there's a major shift into this brand new sector. Things have been operating the same way for a long time, and now there's this big shift globally from all these different countries, and it's increasing the silver consumption. And the fiat system, it's imploding upon itself. We see what's happening over in the euro. We see what's happening in Zimbabwe. In Mexico, they're facing almost revolution. They're on the border of revolution. So we see that the world is collapsing. We see a Russia currency crisis. We see China and Russia trading between their two countries in oil without the US dollar. We see massive moves that are taking place and a global shift, if you will, to the increased demand for silver and the increased use or the decreased use of the dollar and the destabilizing of other currencies. While the dollar will be king, one thing I know, it's better to have cash than to have stocks in the stock market, because these computers sell off. So, it's all computer trading these days. Nobody's in there on the floor except to take pictures, to tell you the truth. So it's all computer trading these days, little shifts, little moves. These people's money will be out long before you're out of Dodge. And most likely you have been computer trading too, but you don't have the same signals or alarms. And they benefit from that. The same companies that sell online trading are the same companies that ultimately have a lot at stake in the stock market. And we see that there are reports coming out saying we could go for a 5% boost, 5% increase, and it's really, what are you buying into? Because ultimately we live with a population, like, you might not agree with a lot of the things that the news puts out. You think, and you can see through it. You can see that they're deceiving people, that they're not being honest with us, that they're not being honest about the economy. Come on now. We're the Janet Yellen. We're close to reaching our economic goals. Unemployment is near zero. We need to increase interest rates. Do you think that really is true? We look around at all the economic factors in the country. The country is collapsing. The economy is doing wretched. You got empty buildings with for sale signs covering, even in our cities. People are, the mortgage applications have dropped. Even in New York City, the increased time that people go for a close on their house. So it's taking longer to be able to move houses. So we have a massive crisis underway, and they're not being honest about it. And so this enthusiasm being pumped up by, a president that goes and gives a speech, what we really need is some real substance before people just are putting their faith blindly into the system. And at the same time, it really works perfectly according to their plan. We already see cracks coming through in the stock market to see it stalling out, and it's something that you need to take positive steps. And if you don't have a lot, then take what you can. Take the extra money instead of buying little extras this month. Go and buy yourself some silver. Buy some gold. Buy a little bit each month. Set it away. Start putting it away. Make your own savings account. Instead of putting money into your savings account, buy silver. Buy gold. It's holding a bottom right now. You're not going to have this opportunity to get it cheaper again. We see that this bottom is being held despite the price being lower before the recession, is because the amount of money that has been transferred into silver. This is a fully suppressed price, and it's even this high, and it's holding. So it's safer. It's safer than these savings accounts. When this market collapses and this correction happens, they're going to take your savings accounts. They're going to take your retirement funds. Your retirement people will probably already lose your funding, and then whatever's left, the government will confiscate in the end. The banks will confiscate in the end. They are their debt, and they will liquidate them to be able to make their bank solvent once again. So be aware, and you need to take positive steps. What will you do when you go to the ATM and they're only allowing you to withdraw so much cash per day? How will you live? Someone brought up a great point on the channel. You need to store away some non-perishable foods and water just to be able to get over the confusion and the panic that would happen in the immediate collapse. So store up some foods. Rice stores almost forever as long as you keep it dry, and it's cheap right now. Stock up. That way you have enough to be able to get through. And put a little bit away. Start siphoning some of your savings account. As long as you have a safe place to store it, a safe place to keep it, a safe, start siphoning away some of your savings accounts. Not too big of moves. The government will ask questions, but begin to purchase a safer asset that you can hold in your hand. And that's the real value of silver, that you can hold it in your hand. It is your money protected. And with these ratios, they can't keep up this lie forever. This is only 9 ounces of silver for every 1 ounce of gold is produced. How can the price continuously be where it's at when we have a gold price at $1,213.50 right now? If it was 9-to-1, it would be triple digits right now. It shows the suppression, it shows the manipulation, and it can't hold out forever. All right, well, thank you guys for joining me. If you'd like the content, be sure to subscribe. There'll be more videos just like this. We got something special coming up, and thank you. Like the video, share, leave me a comment in the comment box, anything you guys want to see coming up. And I thank you guys already who've subscribed. Again, there'll be more. All right, but thank you again for joining me. Have a great day.